Swede or Rutabaga is a vegetable that I most often use to make soup or a good roast. But today I am making dessert, a crustless Swede pie that is gluten-free, requires no baking, and is sweetened naturally. I first came to know of the Rutabaga when I was living in Europe, where it's more commonly known as Swede. It is also called Neep in Scotland. It's a root vegetable that is usually quite cheap and available year-round. Not to be confused with turnips that tend to be smaller in size, with a slightly smoother, lighter skin and evoking bitter, spicy notes. The Swede has a warmer color and a mild, sweet flavor with just a subtle, peppery characteristic. Having said that, sometimes Swedes are also called turnips or yellow turnips. I am using dates as a natural sweetener in this recipe, so let's first start by pitting and soaking them in 1 cup of hot water. I will later blend them to a puree, so I decided to transfer them into a more convenient jug. Swedes are easy to prepare. Just peel them like you would peel a potato. Then for this recipe we are going to cut and grate them. It does take a bit of time to grate a kilo of them, so if you have a food processor with a grater attachment, you can use that. Once grated, add the Swede to a saucepan and leave aside for the moment. Now let's blend the soaked dates and add them to the pan. Turn the heat on to slightly higher than medium. Stir and mix the date puree with the Swede. Cover and simmer for about 30 minutes. Meanwhile, let's toast the coconut. I'm grating fresh coconut meat from a mature coconut, but you can use desiccated flakes if you don't have a fresh one. The pan should not be too hot. To know how hot it should be, sprinkle some water in the pan. It should take about 15 seconds for the water to evaporate. Toasting the coconut is optional, but it adds a slight nuttiness that brings out more flavor in the pie. Keep stirring until the coconut picks up a slight golden brown color. Add half of the coconut to the pan and keep the rest for garnish. I am using coconut milk, but you can use any other dairy-free milk. It will change the taste slightly depending on which one you use. Now lower the heat and let the mixture simmer for another 20 minutes. I am flavoring this pie with some infused maple syrup, which I recently had the chance to try. The one I'm using is vanilla, cinnamon and star anise in the Pure brand, which actually comes in 4 other different flavors. The lavender chai would have been another nice one to add to this pie too. If you can't find these, however, you may use plain maple syrup and add in some vanilla extract and cinnamon. That will work too. Finally, I am adding cornstarch diluted in water. Make sure the cornstarch is well dissolved in the water before adding it to the pan. As soon as you add it, stir the mixture continuously as it will thicken. Keep stirring for about 8 to 10 minutes. The mixture should be thick but should still be able to drop from the spoon within 1 second. The thicker it gets, the firmer the pie will become, but you don't want it to be too firm. This pie must be refrigerated for at least 3 hours before serving to allow it to set. If you want to serve it warm, you may reheat it in the oven for about 10 minutes after it has been refrigerated. Or you may leave it out at room temperature for a little while before serving. I love serving this pie with a scoop of frozen banana ice cream. It's delicious. So enjoy this recipe, and if you've liked it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see you soon for another recipe.